Hello, so here we are with a hands-on with the Sony Xperia L. Now I must start by saying that this is a pre-production unit as shown off by this little sticker here. This isn't final hardware or final software. The hardware should be pretty much there. There might be a few tweaks. The software may change slightly. In all honesty, with these pre-production units there isn't a lot of difference come the final unit, but I'll just clarify that just in case there's any discrepancies. So starting with the front of the device, of course, we've got this 4.3-inch touchscreen display, has a resolution of 854 by 480, which puts this Xperia L sort of as a mid-range handset. Probably towards the lower end of the mid-range, but it's got a pretty good feature set. We've got a 1 GHz dual-core processor in here. Then if we look down the bottom here, we've got no actual physical buttons, all built into the software. Right down here we've just got this sort of gloss black that comes to a silver band, and then we've got this quite angular edge that you can see here. It's quite a nice sort of steep design there, and that comes to a more of a rubbery back cover, which we'll come back to in a moment. We've got this silver banding all the way down the side of the phone, and you can sort of see reminiscence of an arc shape there that harks back to the ARC devices. And you've got a micro USB connection on the side here for charging and connectivity. You've got a little recess here which will remove the back cover in a moment. Carry on round across to the top, you've got a 3.5mm headphone jack just in the top there. We carry on round to the side, silver banding continues, and then what we've got is the power button slap bang in the middle there. That's carrying the sort of omni-balance design that we've seen on other Xperia handsets, and set back slightly is the volume rocker keys up and down, and then towards the bottom we've got the dedicated camera key, which is a nice feature to actually see on this device. So then on the back we do have a rather impressive 8-megapixel camera with LED flash. Got a microphone here. We've got this sort of soft touch back cover. The Xperia logo is all worked into the case. That's not embossed or anything like that. We've got NFC on here as identified by this little sticker. We've got the loudspeaker down at the bottom, and we've got there what looks to be the microphone, something like that. There's no lanyard connector on this as there are on some Sony Xperia devices. So what we can do is we can hopefully pull off this back cover. Okay, so we've removed the back cover. It's not particularly easy. You won't want to be taking that off in a hurry, but you can see how we've got sort of the NFC and antenna all built into this here. We've got gold connectors that line up here. We've then got the SIM card slot up here. You'll just notice just under here we've got the micro SD card slot. That's sort of hidden away. So you can put memory cards in this device to expand the memory, because as standard you don't get an awful lot of memory on board. You get 8 gig, so it might not be enough for all. Then you've got the battery here, which has a 1750 milliamp hour capacity. So we pop that back in there like so, and then we can pop the back cover on, and this is where it might take a bit of work to get that back on. Oh no, went back on a lot easier than it came off. So if we just power the device on, you'll also notice up the front here we have got a front-facing VGA camera, so that's for video calling and taking self-portraits, etc. So it comes with a 24-month warranty, weighs in 137 grams, it's 9.7 millimeters thick, and it's got dimensions of 128.7 by 65 millimeters. So it's a fairly small unit. The nice arc sort of design, the soft touch back cover makes it feel quite comfortable in hand, and this will make an ideal sort of first smartphone, or potentially a second smartphone, if you don't need the higher end features, if you mainly want to make calls, do a bit of web browsing. I mean, you have got Bluetooth 4 in here, you've got Wi-Fi, you've got your 3G, so it's certainly not limited. It's just some of the higher end features in terms of the resolution of the screen and the camera features aren't there. So we've got a fairly sort of standard Android setup here. So I'll just take you into the settings to show you about the phone. So we've got Android version 4.1.2, and it's the model number C2105. So you've got some of the Xperia settings here. This is PlayStation certified here. You've got screen mirroring options with your Sony TV, you've got the ability to throw content to other media devices. You've got status information about your battery. Now you should get pretty good life out of this battery because of the lower resolution screen, and you can conserve more power by changing the brightness on the display. So it has got the ability to adapt the screen brightness thanks to an ambient light sensor, or you can increase it to full yourself. You've got the ability to rotate the screen into landscape, you've got the ability to change the font sizes, and you've also got theme options that is fairly standard across all Sony Xperia devices. But with changing the theme, there is just down here a sort of illumination that appears for certain things. So I don't know how well this will come out, but if I change the theme, you might just see the light there changes with every theme color that I go for. So it's a small touch that will be used for notifications and confirmations on screen. We've got all of the abilities of NFC, Android Beam on here. We can tether this phone so we can use the phone's internet connection and share it with other devices. And then we've got our controls for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. We've got this little running apps thing here, so if we've got programs open we can quickly access them. We've obviously got standard services such as messaging, so we could type out a new message on screen here. We've got the keyboard there in portrait, we can use it in landscape mode. We've got the predictive text there to help us. Now I've got used to a bigger smartphone screen, but actually the angular design of this, when it's in landscape mode, kind of works quite nicely because it contours into sort of your fingers and your hand. You don't feel like you're gripping over the edge. It actually works as a nice sort of gripping station sort of thing, if that makes any sense. You can sort of see my thumb can sort of sit quite comfortably there and hold the phone in place. So talking to the phone, we've obviously got the standard phone dialer, and this will all sync up to your Google accounts. You can sync up to your Exchange accounts if you want it to. You can have Facebook and everything connected up on here. You've got Google Play Store. Now we haven't connected a Google account at this time, but you can download all your favorite applications, everything official here. You've got your Google Chrome web browser, so if we were connected up to the Wi-Fi, we could actually browse the web. I think let's actually go and do that. So if we scroll down from the notification bar, you'll actually see we've got short access to some of the main settings. So if we go and tap Wi-Fi, it's going to go and look for a Wi-Fi connection that we might already be connected to or have connected to in the past. But I'm just going to go into Wi-Fi here, going to pick up the connection and get connected. So we're now connected to the Wi-Fi, and if I go back into the web browser and I type in a URL, and we'll go to the Clove website. So it's going through to our mobile site, but let's show you the desktop site. So we're orientated in landscape mode here, but of course you can navigate around in portrait mode as well. So if you've had hands-on with any Android devices of the past, you'll know you can pinch and zoom into the screen. You can double tap to zoom in and zoom out, except I've tapped on a product there, so I can go into the product page. Let's orientate it in portrait, so you've got an example there. So I can zoom in as the page loads. There we go. I can double tap to render the text useful for me to actually be able to read. Can scroll through it all. If we then come through, you can see we've got the YouTube, we've got our album where our pictures will be stored, we've got our contacts, notes, we've got maps, we've got navigation, we've got Sony's Track ID service, we've got FM radio, we've got an Office suite pre-installed, we've got Google Plus. It's all here for us to get started and up and running. Let's go in and show you the camera. So we've got the rear-facing 8 megapixel camera here. We can record obviously video as well, and we can also use the front-facing camera, which I've just flipped to there. There you can see us like that, and you can record video or photos from either. You'll see in this top corner here we've got this little gold icon, that's superior auto mode, but you'll also notice then we've got a range of different options that we can select from. Now in superior auto mode it won't shoot in full resolution, you need to tap into normal to do that, and in normal mode you have more control over the images that you actually take. So I can go into the settings, I can select the resolution, so I can go up to the full 8 megapixels here. I can control the flash, I could go back in here and change the focus mode, the exposure value, metering, shutter sound, data storage. I've also got the option for HDR within the camera shots. But if I was to tap back up here and go to superior auto, still control the flash, I don't have HDR option, and in actual fact it does seem to be shooting in 8 megapixels on this one, so I'll stand corrected on that. It's obviously got something to do with the resolution. On other Sony devices it doesn't always shoot in full resolution in superior auto mode. So again, you've got some of the controls there, and what it will do is, in theory, depending on what object is behind it, it will change the superior auto mode to capture the best image. So sometimes it pops up on screen and says it's detected macro mode, landscape, sort of portrait and things like that. And you just capture the images there simply by the shutter button, and then we've got the option to record here as well. So there we are in the video recording. We can also take stills throughout. They're only shot at 1 megapixel, but the option is there nonetheless. So we can stop that. We've got quick access up to the videos that we've shot on the device. So it's played straight into the recording that we've got there. So I can flick through some of the other images on the phone. Go back to the home screen. So you've got all of your home screens. Now you can pinch and zoom in, and then you can control your home screens, so you can add additional home screens on the Xperia L. You can close them or get rid of them, should I say, clicking the little X. You can set which one is your home screen by tapping the home icon up in the top corner, and that then becomes your home screen. You can add your widgets, your apps, your wallpapers, your themes. That's all accessible from this here. So that is a quick hands-on with the Sony Xperia L, available from clove.co.uk.